Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is November 15th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. Look at this cold air that's spilled out across the Pacific Ocean, set up perfectly here for Southern California. Multiple rounds of heavy precipitation. We got flood advisories, we got flash flood warnings, we got flood watches all over the place here. We got the potential for some water spouts coming on shore, which would become tornadoes. We got all kinds of stuff going on. So we're going to dive into all these details here again. As we go through this morning, we'll take a look at the latest, and we've got additional systems as we go on in through the early portion of next week, and maybe another storm system later on through next week. So yes, very active weather here for much of the state of California. Now, taking a look at the Doppler radar, where we are right about now. If you look close, you see the blue line there. There's Los Angeles, up towards Santa Barbara, Ventura County, and there's San Diego County over here. You can see the islands out here underneath some of that moderate heavy rainfall. But if we scroll back towards this morning, look at some of that precipitation that came on shore here, right near LAX and towards the Palisade burn scar area. So that's why there's flash flood warnings in effect for that area. And again, some very heavy rainfall continuing to train over the same areas means nothing but trouble, especially in the burn scar areas. And if you don't travel, you don't need to travel, don't, please. Some of these canyons and some of the runoff here coming, especially across Ventura and Santa Barbara County and portions of Los Angeles County, is fast and furious. Some of those roads could get washed out. You could become trapped. Turn around, don't drown. Watch out for the water coming across the roadways. You guys know the drill. Debris flow and stuff and rocks coming across the roads can really mess up your vehicle. And if we take a look here, again, just kind of pointing out where the Palisade burn scar areas are. There's Santa Monica, and then you can see LAX is down in here, and then you can see Los Angeles and Long Beach off to the right. Now, flood warning, flash flood warning here, and flood advisory for much of Los Angeles County still in effect, again, with that heavy rain moving over the area. And if you're going out to the coastal area, there's high surf advisories, beach hazard statements, rip currents, all kinds of crazy stuff. Marine weather statement there for potential water spout activity. Just some crazy weather here for Southern California. If we take a look at the precipitation chances and timing, of course, we're right now into Saturday morning. Debris flow, road and urban flooding. Listen to your local authorities, please. This is likely to continue on in through this evening, and then precipitation probably continued into portions of Sunday here as well. Now, San Diego, this is as of this morning. They said what's going to happen here through Sunday evening. You see some pretty good amounts even across San Diego County and some of the higher terrain, and some of these heavier amounts will be coming off east of the mountains also. I'll show you some of that here actually starting right now with the Phoenix National Weather Service outlook. This will be more hit and miss, more isolated, but you could get thunderstorm activity. Some of those could be strong. There's going to be heavy downpours, so watch out. There's flood watches out there as well. But yeah, this does include portions of Imperial, Riverside, San Bernardino County, and portions of Las Vegas, southern Nevada, and portions of western Arizona. And you can see how those areas are included in this slight risk, and the moderate risk does encompass much of Southern California. Now, that is just day one. Look at day two. This is from the next storm system up. I mean, my goodness, no rest for the weary. And then day through three, another slight risk has been introduced for portions of Southern California. And after that storm moves out, there's probably another one coming here, which could be potentially significant also. I'll show you some of that here as we go towards the end of the video. But look at LAX. In the last 24 hours, it's up over 2 inches of precipitation. The Palisades are right here, the burn scar area, and that's where a lot of this precipitation is moving across right now. And look at some of Santa Barbara and Ventura County. Again, there's a lot of water running off, so do not travel in these areas if you do not have to. You know how these roads can be, Highway 101 and some of these highways out there. You could be running into some washed out roadways and things of that nature, so do be careful. Now, looking at the high resolution rapid refresh, you see it picked up that line there coming across the coastal waters and slamming into the coast there as we went through this morning. And here we are right about now. And you see we've got a lot more heavy precipitation to go through as we go through the day today. There's about 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still some heavy precipitation moving in. You can see it moving up across San Bernardino County up towards the Sierra Nevada into portions of Las Vegas. And you see it wrapping around, continuing to produce precipitation up the Central Coast back towards the Bay Area. Some of the San Joaquin, Sacramento Valley also continue to be impacted by this storm. In fact, some of that moisture moves back up north as we go on into tomorrow morning. And then we go for the next storm system. You can see it bearing down with additional rounds of heavy rainfall. So yeah, again, no rest for the weary. That's where the high resolution model ends up. But another round of some decent rainfall amounts for Southern California with that one. So what I've got here is a 24-hour running total. And if we scroll through here, this is through Sunday morning, you can see A lot of additional precipitation still coming in here, folks. And then we go on into the next storm. And you can see, these totals don't look too extremely heavy, but that's just because you're probably used to what we're going through just now. A lot of precipitation, but a lot of these areas, again, picking up 1.5, maybe 2 inches of precipitation, depending on where you are, especially across some of the higher terrain. And then we've got another system rolling in here with impressive precipitation amounts as we go on in through the next end of next week and towards next weekend here. We'll worry about those systems as we get closer to them, but just kind of pointing that out. Now, the GFS is coming in hot right now. The 12Z data, let's take a look. So here's our system. It's ongoing right now. It spins with us here as we go through the day. Tomorrow starts to kick out, but it's quickly replaced by this next frontal system. You can see it does bring some heavy rain down the central coast, Point Conception towards Southern California, maybe even San Diego, and then it hangs out a bit as we go through Tuesday night. Finally starts to kick off, still producing some precipitation for Arizona, portions of Nevada, and Utah as you go on in through Wednesday. And then the next system rolling down here. And again, this one could be significant because you can see it's got the initial frontal system moving across the area, and then it kind of stalls out a little bit again here as well. That could bring some heavy rain again, just depending exactly the track of that low pressure system. Then maybe we'll get a break after that. Who knows? No promises. Looking at the European, there's a system right now. So we just looked at the GFS, which is the global forecast system. That is the USA model. This one is the European model. So we take a look at that system. Pretty good agreement there. Then our next frontal system rolls in, starts to impact northern portions already on the day Sunday, moves down towards the Bay Area here Sunday night into Monday morning. Some heavy rainfall coming across the Sacramento Valley, San Joaquin Valley, and again all the way down towards Southern California on the day Monday. And then that system continues to spin here for a little bit. And let's see what the next storm system timing is. Starts to come in. What is that? About late Wednesday night, Thursday morning. The next storm system rolls in here, and you can see the spin of that atmosphere right off the coastline here. So again, could be potentially a significant storm. But the artificial intelligence shows a little bit further offshore, but it's coming more in line with the European and the GFS are showing. So some confidence increasing in that next week, late week storm system. So as far as snowfall, you can see we're getting some across some of the higher Sierra Nevada. The next storm system could be dropping those snow levels down a little bit more, and you can see maybe a few inches for some of the higher terrain of the transverse range as well. But yeah, it is that time of year where we'll take what we can get across the higher terrain. And then that next storm system there as well pumps a little bit of snow across some of the Southern California. Again, we'll have to wait and see about that. Now, significant wave heights. We got elevated wave action. We got some high surf advisories, like I mentioned, and beach hazard statements. So do be careful along the central coast down into Southern California, especially. You see that wave action starts to wane here as we go through the day today. But if we go on in towards early portion of next week, you see another set of waves arriving. That looks to come in here as we go through very early Monday morning, bringing another set of some waves. And look at that next storm system. Some big boys here coming for Northwest California, Bay Area, Central Coast, Southern California. Man, that next one could pack a punch there. So we'll have to watch that storm system closely. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I don't want to get too caught up in that one yet. We got so much going on right now. So anyway, check out the Patreon page. Check out my wingtip of vortices landing in the rain video I put out yesterday on the Pacific Northwest Weather Watch channel. And again, man, look at this thing. It's just perfectly set up off the coastline. We got a ways to go here, folks. And I showed you the high resolution model and some of the timing in that precipitation, and I would kind of plan that the precipitation hangs on a bit longer than what the models are showing. And again, if I put that into motion, you can kind of see this precipitation going, and we got a lot more to go as we go through the day today. You can bounce out a little bit further here as well and kind of see how that spreads up again towards San Luis Obispo County, some of the central coast, and it's going to come back across the San Joaquin Valley as you're going through the day today as well. And then you got the potential later on today for some stronger storms, more isolated thunderstorm potential here as you go through southeast California up into Nevada and portions of western Arizona. So yeah, lots of stuff going on here, folks. You know, when your maps look like this with all these crazy colors, that it's getting nuts out there. And if we go to the National Weather Service page, you can kind of see that flood watch out there across eastern portions. Still some winter weather advisories for additional snowfall for precipitation as well. But yeah, hope you guys are staying safe out there. Don't travel if you don't have to. I'll do my normal briefing tomorrow. We'll watch those additional storms and we'll try to get some better confidence on the timing of those. But otherwise, I will catch you guys in the next forecast.